Hey, Dustin Tibbetts with Passport to Wall Street, and today for our lesson we're going to talk about tech and banks, right? We know we need the tech stocks and we need the bank stocks in order for the S&P 500 to go higher because they make up the biggest chunk of that index. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at where we're at in the markets right now so that you can kind of see what happens going forward. Now, we're recording this after the market closes, and so we're going to use today's data. However, when you look at this, if it happens to be that you're watching this a month from now, you can actually compare with the actual market and see what happened to see if we were correct. So to start, let's go over to the charts. We're going to use two symbols. We're going to use the tech stocks, the banking stocks, XLF. We'll use an ETF to show that, just to keep it real simple. And you can kind of see on the charts as of today, August 20th, where they're at. The banking stocks are sort of indecisive. They don't really care where they go. It seems like a dog on a leash. You could go this way, you can go that way. The dog doesn't care. Just take me where you want to go. So it seems like bank stocks are willing to move higher. And so next, we need the tech stocks. So for that, I'm going to use the semiconductors. I'm going to use SMH to look those up. You can use any one that you like. And what do we notice here? The semiconductors have been pulling against the market. So the bank stocks are ready to go, but the semiconductors are pulling back and they're like, we're not going. We're going this way for a moment. So there's that tug of war. And thus, if you look at the S&P 500, that's why it can only put up a few points plus or minus every day. Well, check this out. What happens if the bank stocks want to go higher? Are they in a position where they could go higher? Meaning, are they overbought, right? Well, nobody can really make that argument. This is ready to move in either direction. It doesn't seem to mind which way. It's not like this over here where one could argue that it is really extended. No, it doesn't look like that. So it looks like the banks are ready to go. Now, when you go over and you go, well, I know I need the banks and I know I need the semiconductors, my tech stocks to go and take the market higher. You look at this and you say, well, it's been selling off. While there's a chance that it could sell off further, I want you to think of this here as a rubber band or a bow and arrow, if you like, and it's pulling back, right? And so while temporarily there's a lot of resistance, it doesn't want to go. What happens when you let go of that bow, right? If this starts to snap back even just a little bit, now we've got the tech stocks moving higher, and we have a banking sector that doesn't really seem to care. It'll go higher if you want it to go higher. It's at least my opinion on that. So when you put those two things together and you go, what is the market going to do? Is the market going to go higher or go lower? Now you can look at this and you can say, well, look, I see that the semiconductor stocks have pulled back. I also see the bank stocks are locked and loaded, ready to go higher. What happens if the semiconductor stocks start moving higher and the bank stocks are already locked and loaded, ready to go higher? Now we've got that teamwork. We're able to push, and the markets should very easily go higher. Now, it's up to the bank stocks and it's up to those semiconductor stocks to actually recover and push. What happens if they sell off more? If they happen to sell off further, the banks are still sitting there ready to go. We're just pulling that bow even further back, right? So we'll see what happens. We've got a really quiet period in the markets right now, being the end of the summer. So we're not really expecting any sort of huge fireworks. But if you want to pay attention to what the markets are doing and how you might adjust throughout each day, well, that's a good place to get started. Well, I hope this helps you. I hope it finds a way to make you a profit, and we'll be back to do another class soon.